Tianjin is a city well known for its seas, rivers, and exquisite sceneries. With the Bohai Sea in the east and the Yanshan Mountain in the north, Tianjin is one of the 4 municipalities directly under the Chinese central government,
only 120 kilometers away from the capital city Beijing.
And with a population of over 10 million, it is the largest coastal open city in North China and the economic center in the Bohai-Rim region. Tianjin enjoys historical and cultural tradition. Boasting quite a number of mountains, rivers, and lakes, Tianjin enjoys rich and varied tourist resources. Considering her prominent status and influence over the past 100 years, it is safe to say that Tianjin is the epitome of modern China. The tourist development setup of Tianjin is one with the hrer River as the axis, with the city proper as the main body, and with Jixian County and the coastal area as 2 wings. Emphasis has been placed on the development of 1 belt and 5 areas. A brand new image of being a city of charm, a brilliant pearl on the Bohai Sea, has been forged. Tourists say they would go to Tianjin to know the modern history of China. Rich tourist resources have been meticulously and wisely exploited to create choice tourist itineraries. Tianjin has intertwining river courses, which give its reputation as a water city in North China. The sightseeing trip on the hrer River, meandering along for some 72 kilometers across the city, is a wonderful experience. The convergence of the seas and the rivers has fostered its unique water culture, appealing to both refined and popular taste. The hrer River Development and Renovation Project has created a consumer-oriented economy belt, culture belt, and scenery belt along the river. The city is known as Venice in the East. Tianjin has museums, memorials, and exhibition halls that can be seen off in terms of variety and number. Tianjin Museum, a modern complex with a floorage of 31,400 square meters, is very imposing, housing over 200,000 art curiosities. Zhou Enlai and Deng Yingchao spent their youth in Tianjin. The Zhou and Deng Memorial was completed and opened to visitors on the centennial anniversary of the birth of Zhou Enlai, the former premier. The Tianjin Campaign Memorial Hall revisualized the Tianjin campaign before visitors' eyes by relics, scenery lights, and multi-dimensional demonstrations. The main building is majestic and magnificent, covering a total area of 17,000 square meters. With its predecessor of the Beijiang Museum built in 1914, Tianjin Museum of Natural History boasts a collection of some 380,000 relics of all kinds. Tianjin Museum of Science and Technology is one of the most advanced of its kind in mainland China and even one of the best in the world. The Guangdong Guild Hall, now named the Tianjin Drama Museum, dates back to the Qing Dynasty. It is the largest and the best preserved of all in Tianjin. The Paleo Coast Shell Ridge Museum is a record of the flight of time and the great changes to the world brought by time. Tianjin is noted for its numerous cultural relics, as well as architectures with styles of many Western countries. Former residence of celebrities could be found in almost every corner of the city. At the present time, both the Wudao Dao and the former concessions of 9 world powers, which have been well preserved, could still be admired by visitors in their original style. Those buildings are the former residences of celebrities in modern Chinese history. Among them, the best known are the old houses of Zhang Xueliang and Ji Hongchang, 2 famous generals in modern Chinese history. The residence of Fu Yi, the last emperor of China, and even the former residence of Herbert Clark Hoover. The most extraordinary thing is that, with Yuan Shikai taking the lead, there are altogether 5 ex-presidents, 6 ex-premiers, and other prominent political and financial figures took up residence in Tianjin. Qing Wangfu, the former mansion of Xiao Dezhang, who was the eunuch of the late Qing dynasty, is best known for its magnificent architecture, which has integrated the Chinese style with the West, the classical with the modern. Tourists could find Italian-styled architecture right here in Tianjin with its harmonious Apennines features. In being studied, the residence of Liang Qichao, an eminent Chinese scholar, is a building with such an Italian style. The splendid former residences of celebrities, together with its importance in modern Chinese history, make Tianjin an attractive resort for tourists, but also its rich and colorful culture as they leisurely take a carriage tour of the city. As a prosperous city of industry and commerce, Tianjin has countless and various markets, stores, and fairs. To appreciate the local culture, the best place for tourists to go is the Traditional Culture Fair, which exhibits artistically the traditional customs, conventions, as well as the 600-year history of the city. The architecture of the fair takes a style of the Qing dynasty and runs 687 meters in length. The Drum Tower of Tianjin and the tourist supermarket are located in the fair too. In addition, tourists could buy whatever they want at very reasonable prices on the commercial street and the Golden Street of the city. If you would like to try the local food, you may go to the food market. If you are fond of the imported things, go to the Foreign Goods Fair. And if you are interested in finance, go to the Liberation North Street, the Wall Street of the city. Beautiful landscape, ancient temples, and magnificent forts make Jizhou a famous resort that tourists like best. The scenic spots of Jizhou are in a great number. Its ancient igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks boast an age of billions of years. The Huangyaguan Fort Great Hall, built 1,400 years ago, which is actually a World Cultural Heritage, runs just like a dragon on mountains and cliffs. Dule Temple is the most ancient tower-styled building of wood in China. The 16-meter-tall statue of a Buddhism Guan Yin collected in the temple, which was created in Liao Dynasty hundreds of years ago, is a piece of a precious work of art. Panshan Mountain is a national resort. Whatever season you go there, the beauty of the mountain would never disappoint you, Actually, Emperor Qianlong of the Qing dynasty loved Panshan so much that he visited here for 32 times. What is more, both the Jiulong Mountain, a national forest park, and Baxian Mountain, a national natural reserve, are noted for their fairyland-like sceneries. And if you miss Jiushanding, Longquan Mountain, the ancient rock park, and the Shiqu Garden, it would be regretful too. Especially to live, eat, and work with the farmers here could also be an interesting part of your tour to Jizhou, since it offers you a chance to enjoy the pastoral life. You shouldn't miss the tropical plant garden too. The garden covers an area of 40,000 square meters and shelters more than 3,000 species of a plant. Thus, it becomes the biggest one in Asia. Qingho Palace, located in the central part of the traditional culture fair, is the biggest Mazu temple in North China. Various cultural activities related with Mazu exhibit the colorful folk customs of Tianjin. The town of Yangliuqing had been among the 4 famous towns of China even more than 100 years ago, and in 2005, it was awarded the honor of being the famous town for inheriting Chinese culture. The noted Yangliuqing New Year painting is a local product. The amazing thing is that almost everyone in the town is talented for painting. The House of Shi family, the biggest civil residence of North China best preserved, is also located in the town. The former residence and tomb of Huo Yuanjia, a most respected master of Kung Fu, are in Tianjin. Tianjin is a city of immigration, thus various ethnic groups with different religious beliefs live harmoniously on this land. Dabei Temple is a cultural relic of hundreds of years, attracting both pilgrims and tourists. Wanghailou Tower, which was built in 1869, is a Gothic Catholic church. Xikai Church, which was built in Roman style by the French in 1916, is still well preserved. Many other holy religious buildings are also wonderful. Among them are the Great Mosque, the Luzu Town Hall, the Orthodox Eastern Church, and the Jewish Church. The sea makes Tianjin a more charming place, and the Binhai New Zone of Tianjin is attracting the attention both home and abroad. Tourists could admire the beauty and grandeur of the port, the gulf, the warship, and the vast sea. Don't forget to visit the Dagukou Battery, which is among the top 10 scenery spots of Tianjin. And Tianjin makes best use of the sea by constructing seaport to harbor ships, by building seashore resorts to entertain its citizens and guests. The soft wind and the blue sea would make your tour in Tianjin a beautiful memory. Every year, Tianjin hosts a series of festivals and activities, among which the most important ones are the Folk Custom Festival in February, the International Huangyaguan Fort Marathon Festival in May, the European Cultural Festival in June, the Mazu Culture Festival and the Yuyang Golden Autumn Festival in September, the Drum Tower International Folk Culture Festival, the hrer River Dragon Boat Race for college students, and the Hangu Grape Festival in October. Blessed with a beautiful landscape, Tianjin witnesses a great social as well as cultural development at the same time. After you have visited the natural sceneries and the downtown of Tianjin, it is time to taste the various local foods now. Theaters, pleasure grounds, together with its colorful local folk arts, entertain guests home and abroad. Recently, the Bohai No Zone of Tianjin has been integrated into the National Strategic Development Plan of China. Accordingly, Tianjin would take the natural and cultural advantage of the sea to enhance its tourist industry. Being compared to the pearl of the Bohai Sea, Tianjin would develop itself into a fascinating city of tourism, which would exert great influence on the vast region around the Bohai Sea and even on the whole northeastern Asia. Tianjin is a legendary city of a history and culture, as well as a modern city of a vigor and splendor. You're welcome to Tianjin to admire her beauty, to enjoy her hospitality.